Hey there, friends. So this is my latest creation. I just finished it. It's a cedar planter box, which is 32 inches tall. So a little bit over 2 feet, almost 3 feet. And it's made out of, I think I might have already said this, but it's made out of cedar, which I think I told you guys before that I didn't have that yet. So I was able to acquire some about an hour away from here. But a shout out to this guy. His name is Who's the Voss on YouTube, and he's the one that taught me how to make these things just by watching his videos and stuff. And this is my current setup. I wanted to touch base with you guys. Today's Friday, I believe. So yeah, I don't think I've made many videos recently, but this is my current setup. This is what I've been working on most of my time. My free time has been going to, and even my usual on-the-job time. I went ahead and turned my circular saw here into a miter saw. So I got to put this, I'll actually put this down. Maybe I'll show you guys real quick, but there's my speed square. And I will have to put all this stuff away in a second. It's kind of a mess. But I'm gonna kind of show you guys a backwards progression of how of the things that I've been making. So I know this is kind of, I'm like very new to this. Obviously this is my biggest thing that I've ever made so far, and I know I showed you guys the little ones that I made, but here, let me put this down real quick so nobody gets hurt there. I've got kids and stuff, so I got to be mindful of that. But yeah, so you guys know this is basically right where I live, and you know, since I'm not doing the grocery deliveries as much, and my clients from Jacksonville, I have to drive all the way up there to help them out with handyman stuff, electrician stuff. I still have been doing a little bit of that, but this is the other box that I made before that one. It's 16 inches tall and about 46 inches long, and I think 16 inches across as well. And this one was made out of that wood that I showed you guys on the previous video, that I had just bought a bunch of materials for woodworking. And so this is not a real cedar. This is a cedar alternative. And I already sold 2 of these. I sold one of these that was a cedar alternative, and one of the ones that was kind of similar to the one that I just showed you, but it was shorter like this one. But that one, the one that I sold, was actually made out of cedar. And so I sold one cedar alternative and one made out of actual cedar that looks, both of them look just like this one, and they're the same dimensions and everything. But they're these planter boxes and people love them. And these are the ones that I made at first. I showed you guys before. These are just made out of pine. So I wonder, I guess that's just some grass that got thrown in there. But those are the first ones that I made. I made these with like hand saws and hand tools. I didn't really have the tools to do them, but I was able to create them. I mean, obviously I did have the tools, but it took me like all day to make one of each of those. And now I can crank these out. Now that I've turned my circular saw over there into a miter type of saw, and it took me a while to get it that way because I had to make things precise. The whole thing about woodworking is that you have to be able to make these precise cuts so that in the end the finished product turns out, you know, a little bit you know, good looking, fine. I mean, these are not like fine furniture or anything like that, but you don't want there to be like a bunch of gaps in between here, so you have to make a good 45-degree angle cut, which is the most recent thing that I was able to figure out, which is what you saw me adjusting here. I had this set at 45 degrees so I could make that 45-degree angle cut. This right here is just set at 90 right now. But to make this, I had to get this door hinge, and this door hinge, the bad thing about it is you can see it's not very rigid. So when I'm going down, I have to make sure that I lean to the right. And so I basically just made it to where that is it has to go off, the 90 has to go off of the edge of this cut. And it took me a while to figure that out, you know? And I also just bought this blade here. It's got 60 teeth instead of the 24 that the Ryobi came with. So I'm just learning about this stuff quite a bit. And it's actually, to give you guys an idea of like what it feels like, it feels very satisfying, you know, to have an idea and follow the steps, you know, step by step, and to be able to actually, see the finished product. And when you follow the steps properly, you don't skip anything, because if you saw my first few, they didn't look quite as good as these last few have, because I got impatient, and I also was like kind of emotional, like frustrated at certain parts. I don't know if you can even see me in here. I should have turned the light on. But yeah, I was like kind of frustrated at certain parts, and so you can kind of see those things in the finished product, because the steps were skipped, and I didn't really take my time making sure that the product came out the way it should have. And something that reminds me of is when I was doing jiu-jitsu, which I was just a white belt. I never really got into like the higher levels, but the little bit that I did learn was this whole thing of like slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So that's something I had to kind of keep reminding myself of, that even though it might take me a whole day to make the first few, if I can just get the process down, then over time, and if I can improve my tools over time, I can start getting better. And just by repetition, that smoothness will eventually turn into a fast product. And so I was able to crank that one out pretty quickly, quicker than the other ones, surprisingly enough, right? You'd think that to make a bigger thing like that, it would take longer, but no, it took less time than the little ones that you guys saw that were made out of pine. But yeah, I'm just checking in with you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a good Friday. And I gotta clean this place out as well too, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just tuning in. We're gonna be doing $1,000 giveaway. I want to say thank you to you guys for 800 subscribers. When we're closing in on 850. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you had known me back before I had started doing the Gateway Experience, then you would know that I would never even consider doing something like this. The reason why is because I was so busy all the time, and I was so in my head, and I was always maybe afraid to fail. And these types of things where I would have never been able to, I was not really ever a creative person. I was more of like the analytical person. I never really, had a vision of certain things. And so the Gateway Experience helped me to take these steps to where I'm not as busy anymore, but I'm actually having greater results than just staying busy all the time. Because, just staying busy doesn't actually compute to something if you just staying busy is not actually working towards a greater purpose. So sometimes, even if you just make small steps on a day-to-day basis, as long as you're going towards a greater outcome, not just trying to pay the bills or whatever. Because these things, I can basically make like $100 an hour. It's not guaranteed. It doesn't come right away, like the guaranteed paycheck if I was just like delivering groceries. But once I sell them, that's when the commission or whatever comes in, the paycheck comes in. So just a little analogy for you there. Sometimes that's just how it works in life. I've been playing League of Legends as well. Like, let's just say that potentially in the future, I don't think this is ever going to really happen. But, if I just continue to do like 1 or 2 games a day, what if eventually I get really good at it, and then that's all I'm doing is just playing League of Legends because I get so good at it? That type of thing. I don't think that's ever really going to happen. But even though I would never get paid all up front right away, even though this YouTube channel is not paying me, and I've been putting money and time and energy into it, even though it's not paying me right away, I think in the future there's going to be some kind of fruit to the labor of whatever it is that we're doing here, So I hope you guys enjoy the videos. I'm just checking in with you. You can see the little farm going here that we got with the cows. They just got some hay. And yesterday I was in Jacksonville, so I've been traveling back and forth like 2 hours every other day. So it's like a 4-hour round trip, sometimes 6 hours if I go to North Jacksonville, because I'm here in Ocala now. So just one step at a time. Things just take time sometimes. And yeah, thank you guys so much. If you guys want to help me out with the channel, feel free to subscribe and everything. And if you guys want to like share the link to the Discord with other people, that would help me out as well, if anybody wants to join. But yeah, we're going to be doing that $1,000 giveaway whenever we get to 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to be there, before we know it. Considering, I think a year or 2 ago, we didn't have any subscribers. So that's pretty crazy, the amount of growth, all thanks to you guys. So keep it going, keep it chilling, keep swinging. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. Peace.